Hi, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful session where we're on the 11th sign, the dog. And this is particularly interesting and lovely and beautiful for us because Siddharth and I were in residence at the Leonardo House, which I'll share with you very briefly here. So this was in 2019, just before the pandemic. And we started our long process on doing a cookbook, which prototype is here. Here we are with Monica in the market, which was amazing. You can imagine in Paris. So a lot of the plates that you see in our project were actually shot there. And this is our table that we set up. We actually had a couple of incredible dinners with guests. And this here is our guest today, the hostess with the mostest, Annick Bureau, who basically hosted our residency, but also was a very willing activist in helping us figure out the interface, the designs. And here you see the photograph of the first meeting of Leonardo, which Frank Molina, Roger Molina's father, set up. And so we were in this house of art and science doing this project, which was amazing. And we had an incredible guest, Nina Barbier, and many other people who joined us. And it was absolutely an incredible event. So today we're coming together right after Thanksgiving. And we always start with a thank you. To us, gratitude is the core of this project, gratitude to the animals. So we always start by saying thank you to the animals who join us. Thank you to the animals who are being featured in particular. And that would be Annick, who I just mentioned, Maria Just, who will follow her, and Adrienne Marton, who's joined us recently in the Artside Collective. So this is super exciting, but just a brief gratitude, which with the Hawk Zodiac we do by sharing the wine that is symbolic of the blood we all share, and the fusilli that Sid is showing you, that it is our DNA that we all share. So we'll just drink and eat on your behalf. And when you hear a good story or get a good recipe, the mantra is mmm. I love listening to that story while Gustavo is setting up his offering.
So why? Okay, what's Gustavo offering?
It looks amazing.
I know, Gustavo, talk to us. The dogs are slobbering.
Now it's making me super hungry.
I know. It's like, what's going on here?
Which is the dog food?
Well, thank you for the invitation. The last time I was invited, I think, was a year and a half ago, and
yes,
I cooked. So today, my offering, and I think I have a kind of a nice preview for you. Mm-hmm. It is leftovers from yesterday. So it's an organic turkey breast stuffed with cranberries, sage, rosemary, garlic, and onions, all organic, with some roasted red potatoes, organic brown rice, and a little bit of sweet potato on top. So from yesterday's to today's, I made it into something called calentado, so kind of leftovers, warmed up. And then I made some organic scrambled eggs. I wanted to fluff them up a little bit. I added a little bit of milk, added some organic cheese, some greens, cranberry with a little orange liqueur, and pumpkin pie with sweetened condensed milk, and a pita bread with organic butter, and coffee, French roast, and I think it's a blend with a South American mild roast and milk. So that's what I offer today.
Which does your dog like? Does your dog like the coffee the most?
Oh, I used to, when I had my dog Virginia, I used to basically cook. She didn't like her dog food, so everything that I ate, I made a little plate for her. So I think that's kind of how I thought about today. just I wanted to share.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much, Gustavo.
Thank you for the presentations today. One thing that I kept thinking is, what is my association to dogs? I grew up as an only child in the States in the 70s. So I think, you know, I grew up in a very racist, very isolating environment in Washington, D.C. So you have the CIA, government, police. So I was othered. So the question is, for me, the pet was a way that I could socialize into a loving culture. I didn't have a brother or a sister. So, you know, that was a barrier between the violence that was around. Really interesting, the dog had instincts to protect. So very true. They knew the bigger kids or the bigger adults would be a threat. So I think that was interesting to think through. Also, I grew up very sickly, so the dog would be there to offer aid or medicine. Just wouldn't have to say much, just feel the heartbeat of the animal. And I started thinking about how in current medicine, how we're starting to expand our imagination beyond the Western thoughts, and how animals can really help us see the world in a more holistic way, instead of this very, I would say, capitalist, extractionist, I guess, Western canonical view. And lastly, I think when I think of a dog, I think about passages of time. They have a brief life if they live long. And I've had a few dogs that have taught me how to love, how to cry, how to be disappointed, how to be a parent, how to be a kind of a sibling. But one of the best stories I can share real briefly is I had a dog named Virginia, and I took that dog to every graduate program. At the time, I think I was going through CalArts and UCLA. But at CalArts, I used to run with the dog and play soccer with the dog. But one time the dog got so excited that it bit me while I was going in midair, and I could feel the dog bite me and the neck kind of extend. So the whole weight of the dog kind of took me down. And then the dog started crying. And then what I started to do was I started to feel bad for the dog, because I was like, I made it so excited and the dog wanted to play that the dog didn't know any better. So for me, I kept thinking, well, that's kind of the way that I think about life. I'm very excited about things until society kind of disciplines you and says, hey, you're too excited, or that's not something you should do. Conform. And I think in this room, there are a lot of non-conformists, a lot of, we want to make the world a better place or take on authority. So I wanted to thank you for the invitation today.
Thank you. It's so amazing to hear about what you said about the heart, because it made me think of the ruling organ, if you want to call it that, of the dogs here. And of course, we all have all the animals within us, too, as a reminder, is the pericardium. And I think it's actually very symbolic, because it's this lining that protects the heart. And I think that's so beautiful.
Looks like dog meat to me.
Well, dogs will eat it. Thank you for that comment, Roger.
Okay,
I was going with, it's a beautiful metaphor for how protective dogs are of our emotions.
Okay, then I just want to jump on to the heartbeat and Gustavo's comments. I have a colleague, Fiona Hall, who works in homeless shelters in Dallas, and she has 2 young kids of her own. And she was saying to me, she spent so much time hugging children. And then she built herself a gadget in the School of Art and Technology, where she put on her kid and on herself a thing that made her heartbeat hearable. And then on the skin, she could measure body temperature and the conduction of the skin. And when the baby or the kid or the dog was crying, she would hug it, and the amazing thing, within 3 minutes, the heartbeat synchronized. Baby, baby, stop crying, hug me. Well, it worked. And then she said, after about 10 minutes, the body temperatures became the same. The kids stopped sweating. And so, isn't that amazing that the reason mothers hug their children so much is to slow down their heartbeat.
Wow.
So Gustavo, stop getting so excited. You need someone to hug you. A dog.
A dog.
Sure, Roger. Yeah, a dog.
I've hugged dogs. They're not really good at hugging.
So wait,
Yes, they are.
Mariam.
They hug with their
Mariam.
eyes.
Mariam had an offering to the dogs. So Mariam, I almost forgot, sorry.
Oh, no worries. I have a leftover from Thanksgiving. So I'm from Iran. So we had a kind of intercultural gathering at my sister's house. We had people from Ukraine, from Iran, from different cities of Iran, and also from United States. So this is a traditional cake from Ukraine, which my Ukrainian cousin-in-law made, and it's super delicious. It is basically made of honey. So
Yummy.
I
I
found it
want a slice.
interesting because I wanted to bring up the interculturality that we had during the Thanksgiving, and also some kind of keywords from Ukraine, from Iran, and it's also related to the dog's ingredients. And I would like to honor all the dogs with my piece of cake.
Thank you so much, Mariam.
Thank you.
How beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is really, truly the... Go
It
ahead,
is
sorry.
where the virtual Zoom meeting is missing the real stuff,
Oh, yes. We look forward to coming back to Paris and having a beautiful
I don't know where Mark
banquet.
is at the moment, but if I could teleport myself to get a cake, I would just do it immediately, or vice versa. But yeah, teleportation still needs to be improved.
Yeah. So, but when you talk about when we're talking about Ukraine and Iran and all the suffering that's happening with humans, it's also true very much for animals and dogs. And again, just like we talk about space, we forget often the animals, what they're going through innocently, completely innocently, just like a lot of humans. But so many are stray and so many are left behind, and there's really no one to watch. And then on top of it, I'll share something that I just saw the other day that I thought, oh my God, this is so crazy. This was the headline in Wired magazine.
I'm serious. Oh, Victoria.
There's a shortage, but it gets more interesting. I'll share the link with you, because they actually say that it's like a problem for the security of the country, because dog sniffing dogs that were trained for bomb sniffing were outsourced. So we were actually importing trained dogs from other countries, because apparently to train these dogs, it's like $100,000 or something, super expensive. So
very expensive, very, very long. I mean, it's a highly qualified job and process. I mean, you don't do it.
Exactly. Just like with the cancer and coronavirus, there's no machine that could ever come close to that. So Ivana, did you want to share something before we close our dog sniffing session?
Yes. I'd like to.
Oh, sorry, Nina.
I thought you were talking to me.
It's fine. Nina, by the way, is an artist from New York who's been joining our Hugs meetings and did a gathering
Hi, Gustavo.
in New York. It was pretty amazing.
Hi, Ivana.
Next month, you'll see Ivana, myself, and Nina celebrating the last sign, which is the pig. So, Siddharth. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, you got it up because I got it on my desktop. Oh, that's great. Oh, thank you. Yes, this is me, pig, talking to a dog, which I once was. I'm sure that I was a dog at one time in my life, in my lives. I'm absolutely convinced of that. And just wanted to say that there's one lying here next to me now.
Aww.
That I love and adore. And that dogs have been always intrinsically a part of my life throughout my life as long as I was born, and will be forever.
And you started this beautiful series with the animals around the wheel communing with you.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I think next one is going to be a pig. So I'll have to make another drawing of a pig talking to a pig.
To the mirror.
Yeah.
Or maybe your cosmic animal.
Yeah.
So, and Deborah joined us just really briefly. I want to see if, can we see your dog, Nina?
Yes, I trapped him on the balcony with me because talking about what
Deborah,
I just heard, I joined in like 11:45. So they're such energy readers. I can just talk to my dogs. They knew that I want something from them by luring them on the balcony. They're like, they didn't want to come. They knew like I want to show them on camera because they hate the phone. So I had to lure them. But yes, let me show you. Joshy.
I have noticed that dogs don't like being videotaped and selfies. They don't.
So this is Josh, who doesn't want to show his face. So he's actually Belgian Malinois, so these are used in the police, and he's an energy reader. For example, I can be in bed and call him energetically and emotionally without out loud saying it, and he comes. And I've been testing this for months.
Wow.
I can just call him with my energy, and he's extremely sensitive, like you guys talked about.
Yes.
They know who has a bad intention, who doesn't. Like when I walk at night and there's homeless people that come close, some of them, they don't do anything, but some of them are really weird and they immediately growled. Like they just know the energy. That's the best way I can describe it. He has a lot of energy. Like you need to run them daily. And then this one is Nikita.
Hi, Nikita.
She's an Akita Husky. She is more like a cat. She doesn't, you can train her, but she doesn't, he wants to please you and she doesn't care. Like they're very different in character. See how she's looking away? Nikita, show your face. Okay.
They don't like it. I've noticed.
They hate the phone. They both hate it. Nikita, it's okay.
It must be such a strange thing for them, this like lip thing in their
pointing
face.
her snout down, like okay. She actually has beautiful eyes. Oh,
there we go.
But a lot of things that you guys talked about last half hour, it's just what I've experienced with them daily. Like especially the communication. It's without words. They know. And also another thing, when I'm not feeling well or something, I'm sad, she does it too, but him especially, he comes and puts his whole body weight on my body. Like we were talking about the heartbeat and syncing, and he really he does that when I have like PMS or period cramps. He comes and he puts his whole weight and warmth on my body instinctively. He does that all the time. It's amazing how in tune they are. Yeah, I think humans can learn a lot from dogs and how to relate.
Definitely. Siddharth, you want to do the closing?
Yeah, so thank you all, especially thank you for all the dogs for coming and sharing your stories with us. And we want to thank all the animals. Oh, Ivana, you had something to share? I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. I actually was hoping to share one video. It might be best after you finish the closing. It's like super funny, but nothing.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so thank you. And thanks to all the animals who shared our space with us, either as pets or our companions or food or even science subjects. We really wish to thank them and be grateful for them. And join us next month for the pig celebration before the big lunar celebration in January. So over to you, Ivana.
So I just want to constantly think about sound, and this is my friend's dog that was actually, as probably many of you experienced, dogs singing to the sirens. So I just wanted to share that.
Oh,
Can you hear this?
wonderful way to end. No, I don't think you shared the sound.
Let me share the computer sound. Okay, let's try it again, but also watch the tail too. It's so cute. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Thank you. What a great way to end. And we can all do woo.
Yeah, we are a little packed, and I constantly think about that. So I'm excited to see you all next month for pig feature.
Yeah. Woohoo. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Victoria.
Swan and Nick, it's so good to see you. Ciao.
Amazing. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Lots of love.
Bye,
Dog
everyone.
love. Dog love.